Hey y'all, it is Luke 23, and that means one more day till the 24th. Am I right? Well, today it might be a little different, guys, because y'all might not see my full face. I'm gonna be like this mostly because I can't do it outside. Just can't do it. And then I'm gonna do it in my room, guys. We're gonna read. So get your Bibles. Let's read together, and we're gonna break it down as best as I can. Happy to see y'all once again. Love y'all. I know that. But I'm also tired. But I hope you're having a great day. So am I. We got our Bible here. Let's start reading, my friends. Then who assembly rose led him off to Pilate, and they began to accuse him, saying, "We have found this man subverting our nation. He opposes payment of taxes to Caesar and claims to be Messiah, a king." So Pilate asked Jesus, "Are you a king of the Jews?" "You have said so," Jesus replied. Then Pilate announced the chief priests and cried, "I find no basis for a charge against this man." But they insisted, "He stirs up people all over Judea by his teaching. He started in Galilee and has came all the way here." On hearing this, Pilate asked if the man was a Galilean. When he learned that Jesus was under Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who was also in Jerusalem at that time. When Herod saw Jesus, he was greatly pleased because for a long time he had been waiting to see him. From what he had heard about him, he hoped to see him perform a sign of some sort. He piled him with many questions, but Jesus gave him no answer. The chief accusing him, then Herod and the soldiers ridiculed and mocked him, dressing him in an elegant robe. They sent him back to Pilate. That day, Herod and Pilate became friends because they had been enemies. So they sent Jesus to Herod, the Tetrarch, and his soldiers mocked Jesus and were spitting on Jesus, and they gave him this elegant robe to mock him. Verse 13, Pilate called together the chief priests and rulers and the people to rebellion. "I have examined him in your presence and have found no basis of your charge against him. Neither has Herod, for he spent time back to us. As you can see, he has done nothing to deserve death. Therefore, I will punish him and then release him." But the whole crowd shouted, "Away with this man! Release Barnabas to us." Barnabas had been thrown into prison for an insurrection in the city and for murder. So they wanted to release Barnabas, and they want to see Jesus get crucified. Imagine that, just think that through. These people are saying to release a murderer, a killer, a rapist, to release him instead of releasing Jesus. You get me? You see how dumb that was? They released Barnabas instead of Jesus. They mocked Jesus. They spat on Jesus. And they let Barnabas go. Come on, man. Come on. Wanting to release Jesus, Pilate appealed to them again, but they kept shouting, "Crucify him, crucify him." For the third, he spoke to them. What crime has this man committed? I found no grounds for the death penalty. Therefore, I will have him punished and release him. But they loud with shouts, they insisted, demanding to be crucified, and the shouts prevailed. So Pilate decided to grant their demand. He released the man who had been thrown into prison for insurrection and murder. See, they released the man. They released Barnabas. They released the murderer, the insurrection, the rapist. They released them. The one they asked for and surrendered Jesus to their will. Verse 26, as the soldiers led him away, they seized Simon from Cyrene, who was on his way from the country, and put the cross on him and made him carry it behind Jesus. A large number of people followed him, including a woman who mourned and wailed for him. Jesus turned his head and said, Daughters of Jerusalem, do not weep for me. Weep for yourselves and for your children. For the time will come when you will say, Blessed are the childless women, the wombs that never bore and breasts that never nursed. Then they will say to the mountains, Fall on us, to the hills cover us. For if people don't do these things when the tree is green, what will happen when the tree is dry? Sorry, I was yawning. 2 other men, both criminals, were also led out with him to be executed. When they came to the place called the Skull, they were crucified. They crucified him there along with the criminals, on the one on his right and the other on his left. So 2 other criminals were crucified right next to Jesus, one on the left hand and one on the right hand. Remember the story of the one on the left, all right? Verse 34 is the one I highlighted. Really liked. Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. No, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Then King James is, for they not know what they do. Okay. Well, I'm taking off my glasses. If I look funny, I'm sorry. But I just want to get serious with y'all. That verse, I really like it. The reason I like that verse, it shows that even Jesus was on that cross. And I'm going to help y'all picture the image of Jesus right now. So Jesus, he was mangled. He was beaten to near death with the night tail whip. It's like a whip, right? There's 9 like little pieces of it's like hooks on them on the end. There are 9 of them. They call them 9 tails. They were hitting Jesus, slashing him with it, and they couldn't even tell if Jesus was a woman or a man because his body was like, his intestines were out. You could see his bones. And that's the thing. Jesus didn't curse us. Jesus didn't throw it on the cross and said, I am tired of y'all. I'm tired of what y'all have done to me. I am tired of all this. No, Jesus didn't do that. Jesus stayed on that cross. And even though we didn't deserve it, we were undeserving of his gift, of his forgiveness. He was on there and he said, Lord, forgive them, for they not know what they are doing. And if that doesn't hit you in the heart, it's a little weird. And that one, I really liked it because it was just spoke to me the most. And yeah, it's showing that even Jesus was in suffering. He was bleeding out. He was in agony. He still, on his mind, was us. We were on his mind, even though we didn't deserve it, even though we are the ones that put him on that cross. He didn't curse us out. He didn't spit on us. He didn't disrespect us. He didn't mock us. He died for us, and it makes you think, like, this man was ready just to put his life for us so we can have the gift, the invitation to have grace and to be able to go and spend eternally with God. And that's love. That's true love. It's unbreakable love. That's unconditional love. And it's crazy. Just wanted to tell y'all that. I just want to get serious with y'all for a minute. I know my eyes are black under them. I know. Yeah. Sorry about that. And they divided up his clothes by casting lots. The people stood there watching. Rulers even sneered at him. They said, he saved others. Let him save himself. If he is God's Messiah and the chosen one. The soldiers also came up and mocked him. They offered him wine vinegar and said, if you're the king of Jews, save yourself. There was written notice above him which read, "This is the King of the Jews." One of the criminals who hanged there hurled insults at him. "Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and us." This is the one on the right. This is the criminal on the right. But the other criminal rebuked him. "Don't you fear God?" he said. This is the prisoner on the left. "Since you are under the same sentence, we are punished justly, for we are getting what our deeds deserve." So the guy on the left, he's like, "We deserve this. He doesn't deserve this. Jesus does not deserve what we are being put through." And he says, "But this man has done nothing wrong." And the criminal's like, "He's done nothing wrong. All I do is help." Then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus answered him, "Truly, I tell you, today you will be in paradise." He's going to paradise. The criminal left that. "Just remember me when you go to the kingdom, God." And Jesus told him, "Truly, I tell you, today you will come with me into paradise." And he went to heaven with Jesus. Honest with you, I would have loved to talk to Jesus back then. You know, like to be in like those shoes of someone else, to be able to see Jesus, to talk to him. Man, that would have been awesome, right? That would have been cool. I would do anything just, to go see him in action, see all those miracles happen. And I would love to become a disciple, like back then, of course. Like, man, that would be cool. I would find that cool. And sometimes I think about it like, man, oof, if I was back then, I wanted to spend all my time with Jesus. That would be amazing. Man. Let's read, guys. Verse 44, it's not what about noon and darkness. So verse 44 through 49. It's talking about Jesus' death, the way Jesus died. And his last words were, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." Those were his last words. He breathed. And verse 50 to 56 was the burial of Jesus. So this man, Joseph, came over to ask for Jesus' body. He had this tomb out for Jesus. No one has ever been buried there. Jesus was going to be the first. And then the woman that was mourning for him all the way from Galilee brought perfumes and spices and put Jesus in the finest linen so he can be buried in. And that's all it, guys, for verse 24. I can't wait for verse 20. That was it for verse 23. Can't wait for verse 24. It's day 23. Tomorrow's day 24. Hopefully it touched y'all guys' heart. Because, man, it sure did mine. And I can't lie. I'm sorry. But, man, it was a good one today. It really was a good one. But tomorrow's the 24th. And I'm not going to stop this journey with y'all. Alright? Hope y'all can help y'all in any possible way. Remember, I love y'all. Care for y'all. You need someone to talk to? I got you. Go to my Instagram. Text me on it. It's fine. It don't matter. It's me. Peace. See y'all tomorrow.